I don't know if I'm the one that should be doing this on Facebook. I don't know if I'm the right person to talk about it sometimes because I've had all these bad things taken away from me. And when you have questions like that, sometimes you have to pick a way to go. You have to either go forward or you have to stop. And every time I think about it and pray about it, I'm told to go forward, that I'm a new creation. And, just because I've had a lot of things forgiven me, it doesn't mean that I can't know what Jesus said in the Bible, talk about it, and hopefully lead others to Jesus. So every time I feel like I need to stop and I pray about it, I come to the same conclusion that I am a new creation, and if I love God, I love Jesus, and I feel like I need to talk about him, then I should talk about him. And, that's another reason why I get on and I do this stuff. I feel like I'm led to do it, and I just have to do it. I listened to rap music growing up from 6th grade on, I think, maybe even before that. Started out with Run DMC, LL Cool J back in the day, and then, that was good stuff. I still listen to that. Beastie Boys. Then when I got into high school, started listening to NWA, some of the Gangsta rap, and the harder stuff that came out. And that stuff wasn't good. I mean, it was good. I liked it back then. The music was good, and it was definitely catchy. It was good music, if you will. But the message, it's just absolutely awful. And it's enough to change you. It really is. And I'm going to try to keep my son away from that kind of stuff. But I still listen to rap now, and thankfully there's some good Christian artists out there like Lecrae. And if you've got a teenager or someone who listens to rap, I highly recommend you go get a Lecrae CD. It's Lecrae, Lecrae. And this stuff is as good as any of the stuff I've ever heard, and it's Bible-drenched material. And I want to talk about just a lyric that sticks out of my head with this subject matter that Lecrae said. When talking about God, he says that you either love him or you leave him alone. You either love him or you leave him alone. But you can't do both. And I think that's very telling. You can't do both. That means if you love him, you can't leave him alone. I see a lot of folks that say they love God. They say they love Jesus. They say this. But I don't see them doing anything. And I'm not pointing fingers. I'm just trying to explain my own actions. If you love him, you can't leave him alone. You got to go talk about him. You got to go try to lead people to him. You got to do the things he said to do. And that's all I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to be Mr. Crazy Guy, Mr. Jesus this, Jesus that. That's just the way I feel. And honestly, if he's in your heart, you can't leave him alone. You're going to have to do this kind of stuff. You're going to have to talk about him, lead people to him. He's everything. He's not just something to do on Sunday, and the rest of your week you're at your job, and the important thing is being an attorney and making money and getting your hours in. And then, okay, a little bit of church and God on Sunday where you dress up fancy and, you got to go to the big church and the fancy one so that it can help you out in your weekly life, get ahead as a lawyer, a doctor, forklift driver, whatever. I mean, that's just not it. And I see that, and that's why I do this stuff. And it's not, because I'm crazy. I'm crazy for God, if anything. We're called to be zealous, even if it ends up, hurting us, even if it comes at a cost. And some of the costs, like I've kind of alluded to, I've got friends that I've had, lawyer friends, other friends. We used to have lunch. They don't really email me that much. They don't ever seem to be available for lunch anymore. That's some of the cost I think that comes with this. And that's fine. I understand that. And Jesus said it was going to be like that. And the fact that we actually run into hardships as Christians should not come as a surprise. Jesus, in fact, well, before I go there, it's not even friends. And unfortunately, that sort of situation extends to family. I feel like we have even family members that have taken up the attitude because we talk about Jesus and we clearly have kind of fallen in love with Jesus that we think we're, better than everybody else and we're so righteous. And that's not it. It's not it at all. In fact, Jesus said himself that it's the sick that need the physician, not the righteous. He came to call the sinners. And like I said, it goes back to my sins were so big. He forgave so much. I need him. And that's why I talk about him. Again, not because I'm crazy. I certainly don't think that I'm crazy. Jesus said he didn't come to this world to bring peace, but division. And division among family, division within the world. And that's just apparently what you're going to get when you kind of step out and start talking about the Lord, and start talking about Jesus. and that's a price that, you know, I'm willing to pay. It's unfortunate, and, you know, I guess that's the way it has to be with some folks. But I just wanted to talk about that because it doesn't feel good. You know, it's not fun to have folks not return emails or never be available for lunch, or just get that sense that people are talking about you and think that you're the crazy guy that talks about Jesus too much. But if that's the way it is, then so be it. But, you know, Jesus calls, and I need to answer. And thank you for listening if you did. I just kind of had to get that off my heart.